Hey guys, today it is Sunday, March 8th, 2020, and since it is Sunday, it is time for us to once again round up. And on that note, welcome to yet another Rockzilla's Weekly Roundup podcast. So, as I've been saying at the start of every video for the past bunch of weeks, just until this has been around for a few months or so, I will remind viewers once again that unless I state specifically, like I did, I believe 2 weeks ago, that there would be a visual element in a video, or if you have a situation like this where a video starts out and there's literally something to see, unless one of those two situations pop up, then assume all of these videos are podcasts. The weekly roundups are what I'm referring to. So, like basically all of my weekly roundups, with the exception of a couple weeks ago where I took some time to share a photo of the Los Angeles Kings 90s throwback uniform they wore against the Avalanche recently, where I showed you guys a picture of it and talked about it. Most of these videos will be treated as podcasts, where it'll be a black screen like this with literally nothing to see, just me putting my phone down and talking. So basically, for this week, and for anybody new to this watching the weekly roundup for the first time today, usually my videos are anywhere between 25 or usually about half an hour to 35 minutes in length on average. I actually have a feeling that today's video is quite possibly going to be shorter. It might be a lot shorter. We'll see how it goes, but off the top of my head, there's not really a whole lot that I can really think of to talk about at this point. And I am going to make a confession to you guys right now. Truth is, there is a little video project that I have in the works at the moment. So if you find that this video is not as long as your average weekly roundup, I do have a project that I'm working on that I'm hoping to possibly have done this weekend, but we'll have to wait and see. But truth is, this past week it hasn't been the best week, in my opinion. It's been fine, but I've had some stuff come up outside of the channel that I've had to take care of, unfortunately. It's been a pain in the butt. Plus I had to deal with my bank. I wasn't particularly happy, but once I told them about this stupid extra fee they charged me, they fixed it right away, which I was very happy about. So the situation there was frustrating, but they were really good about that, and I couldn't believe how good they handled it, which is great. This week has been a little bit of a pain in the butt. I mean, it has to do with some more personal stuff going on. Not that it matters, but I haven't had a whole lot of time this week to do videos, and truth is, I've been getting myself ready to do what I mentioned earlier, a little project I'm getting ready to start working on, hopefully later today. But yeah, I mean, this week has been a bit of a pain, so once again, another week wasted without a video until today's weekly roundup. I am sorry about that. Hopefully next week will be a better week. Now, let's see, where should I really begin? So, I'm going to start with the XFL. I believe there was a game, I can't remember who it was with, but they were playing the Seattle Dragons, and there was a call that should have been called in the XFL. But I must say, I am really impressed with how the XFL not only put out a statement on their website, but they also decided to reassign the person who I guess was the upstairs play video reviewer. And the fact that they were so open about what they did and how they handled it, and the fact that they openly apologized, that really gained a lot of respect from myself for that league. I mean, the fact that they care about the officiating and all that, and the fact that, you know, this little league that's just started up basically last month, I mean, the fact that, well, they have handled things like this so well and have been so open. I mean, I would not be surprised if more and more fans eventually start to discover the XFL and say, wow, we like the way this league operates. But speaking of the XFL, I'm actually going to provide a bit of a rant right now. And it has to do with TSN here in Canada. So TSN has 5 different channels that they offer us here in Canada, and they've got the broadcasting rights here in Canada for the XFL. I mean, they've got 5 different channels. They've got a couple of channels airing one thing, a couple of channels airing something else, and one channel airing basketball. Are you telling me that they don't have a spot to put on the Battlehawks Defenders game? I mean, are you kidding me? I wanted to watch that. There's not a damn thing on TV on a Sunday afternoon. There's no hockey until 4 o'clock Pacific time, where the hometown hockey game for this week is the Golden Knights in Calgary. But, you know, there's no good sports TV on until 4 o'clock Pacific time. TSN has 5 different channels, and you're telling me that they can't have a channel set aside for the XFL? Plus, there's a game coming on at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, between the LA Wildcats and, I can't even remember who they're playing, but the Wildcats are playing a game at 6 o'clock Pacific time. And the game is not televised. I couldn't even find it on any of the American channels on my damn guide. On my TV. I mean, TSN has 5 channels, and you're telling me that they can't have one channel for the XFL games every week. I mean, it pisses me off. It really pisses me off. If you're an XFL fan, this should piss you off. And you know what? It also pisses me off about TSN. Because guess what? TSN, hello? You guys do not have the NHL broadcasting rights. So the least you could do is make sure that the rights that you do have, you utilize so that you don't alienate the people that still pay for your channels. I mean, you've got NASCAR on, I think, 2 of the channels right now as I'm filming this. And you're telling me you can't put the damn XFL game on? One of them? I mean, come on. And I looked at the TV schedule for the XFL on TSN, and for the next week to 3 weeks, if I remember correctly, I just looked online, I can't remember off the top of my head, but for the next while, if you want to watch XFL on TSN, you have to watch it on their website or on their app. And by the way, if I'm not mistaken, to watch it on their website, you have to pay for it. I already pay for your channels, TSN. For Christ's sake. If you have the TV rights to the XFL, it's just like the Canadian Football League when it's on in the summer. Are you telling me that with the limited amount of games every single week in the XFL, that you can't put one of your channels aside that is playing the same thing as another TSN channel and put the XFL games on? I mean, sorry for the rant, folks, but it just annoys the ever-living hell out of me. I mean, are you kidding me? It's so stupid. Now, speaking of something that isn't stupid, The XFL games I've noticed have been readily available for live streaming on YouTube. Dear XFL, thank you. See, that's how you grow and market your sport, or your league in this case. I mean, making it readily available for people like myself who've actually had a bit of an interest in it this year, that's how you grow your base, folks. I mean, honestly, that is a really good thing and a really good idea. They make it as open as possible in order to attract new viewers. I really respect that. See, I'm gonna make a suggestion for the National Hockey League. And it's this. Every week, pick one game on a Sunday or even on a Saturday every week that viewers would only be able to see if they had center ice. Like, for example, today, I don't know who's playing, but say there's a game that starts at, I don't know, 1 o'clock Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern, and this is a random example. Say there's a Sunday afternoon game between, I don't know, the Nashville Predators and the St. Louis Blues as a totally random example. Starts at 1 Pacific, 4 Eastern on a Sunday. I think the NHL should consider taking one game and making it available for live stream it on YouTube for anybody to watch. I mean, I think I'm only talking one game a week. That is not enough to make someone say that, oh, I don't need center ice anymore. But I'm just saying, something like that would be I think a lot of people would love to see it. I mean, seeing the XFL live streaming their games openly and being an open book type of league so far, I've been really impressed. I've really respected them for it. So, you know, I really do believe that something like that would be really cool if the NHL did that throughout the season. Giving viewers, whether it's here in Canada or in my example, you know, in multiple areas across the United States and around the world that would have to pay for center ice or some type of online subscription package to watch just that game. Have a random game where you live stream and make available on YouTube for free. It could be, you could do a game every Saturday and even a game every Sunday. Or you could have it on a single game a week every Saturday until the NFL season's done, and then have it every Sunday after that, after the NFL's done. I mean, personally, I think something like that would be very well received. I mean, if the XFL's doing it as an 8-team startup league this year, guess what? I really do believe that the NHL could cough up a game or two now and then for us to see. I mean, I think it would be a great way to draw some extra interest into the NHL too, as far as I'm concerned. But I'm not an expert. I'm just saying it's an idea that I had that I thought I'd mention. Now on the topic of seeing the XFL live stream their games on YouTube, if it wasn't for the live stream that I just watched, I would not have seen the XFL game between the Battlehawks and the DC Defenders. So, thank you for the live stream. Seriously. Now, in terms of the NHL, in terms of uniforms, is there anything I can really talk about here? So far, the Adidas NHL jersey catalog has not yet been publicly shared by anybody. None of the major sites seem to have posted anything about it yet. But something else I want to talk about too, I'm really hoping that maybe starting next season, Adidas is going to start to offer some type of template fix, because I'm getting sick of these ugly collars. I mean, I'll be honest, am I more used to them now than when they first came out? Sadly, yes, only because every single team has the stupid Adi Zero collar. But I'm really sick and tired of Adidas creating new designs that are just bad. I mean, after seeing those Stadium Series uniforms, I've just been thinking to myself, Adidas, can you please do something right for once? I mean, have there been some okay uniforms created and some good jerseys created in the Adidas era? Yes. I would say that Buffalo's Winter Classic jersey in 2018 was quite good. I mean, I do feel that it needed some athletic gold trim around the numbers and on the shoulder yoke, but it was still quite good. The Winter Classic between Boston and Chicago, both uniforms, in my opinion, were absolutely excellent. This year's Winter Classic between the Stars and the Predators, Dallas's uniform was excellent. The Predators uniform, the only thing I didn't like was that P touching that navy blue stripe on the bottom. If that would have been fixed, and they didn't do that, that jersey would have been excellent too. Overall, it's a very nice jersey, and I'm really hoping Nashville will wear it again. I think they should. But yeah, I mean, I really do feel that they made a mistake. Adidas has made a mistake with the Adi Zero uniforms. I mean, these Stadium Series designs in back-to-back years have just been bad. I mean, Washington's Stadium Series uniform, in my opinion, was bad too. I thought it stunk. And it pisses me off to say that, because I think they could have done a really nice jersey with the Weagle on the front, to be quite honest. I mean, Toronto's jersey should have had blue pants on it. That's the only change I would have done. They nailed that jersey, as far as I'm concerned. Then last season's Stadium Series between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. Philadelphia's Stadium Series uniform is the worst uniform I've seen in my life. It was so bad. I actually felt that this year's Stadium Series jerseys were both better than that. Seriously. You might think I'm nuts, but let me explain why. That Flyers jersey, just solid black on orange with no white, was so bad. It was so ugly with those awful helmets too. Jesus Christ. And you know what pisses me off too? If they would have added some white accents to that uniform, it could have been very, very pretty. But no, they crapped the bed on it royally. Pittsburgh's actually wasn't bad. If they would just put their regular crest with some white in it, that actually had some white accents in it, on the front instead of the monochromatic stupid one, that in my opinion would be a great third jersey. I mean, would I want it to last for 10 years as a third jersey? No. But for a few seasons, I think it would be a nice third jersey if they did what I just said. And put a normal logo, use their normal black helmet too. And then this year's Stadium Series uniforms, Jesus Christ, they were both really bad. Really, really bad. And I will say this, I know Los Angeles did wear their Stadium Series uniform for a game at the Staples Center recently too, which, even though I think the uniform is an absolute abomination, I do respect the Kings for at least giving their fans a chance to see it on their home ice. And I really do hope that Colorado will do one game with their ugly, atrocious Stadium Series uniforms for their fans too. I think they should do that, especially when I hear that parking was a major issue and they had some major problems with the Stadium Series event to do with people trying to get to the game. So I think at least Colorado could do a gesture like that to say, hey, for those of you who have tickets that constantly come to our games at the Pepsi Center, and you tried to go to the Stadium Series but you couldn't, we'll give you a chance to see our Stadium Series thing on the ice for a game. I mean, I think they should, personally. But even though, I mean, am I against them not wearing it again? No. I think it's horrible. But, I do feel that when you bring out a special event uniform for an outdoor game, fans have gone and spent their good money on it, on a jersey, at least give them a chance to, see it for another game or two before you throw it in the vault for all of eternity and send it to hopefully the inner depths of jersey design hell, where it can sit there and burn for eternity. Okay, that's a little bit harsh. But my point is that the Stadium Series jerseys have been bad. The new jersey designs that we've seen from Adidas, I've not been a fan of. I really haven't, with some exceptions, like I've mentioned earlier. So, I'm really hoping that Adidas starts to get their act together. I mean, they've been in the NHL long enough now that I think at the bare minimum they can at least start fixing those stupid collars. And hopefully they can start producing some better uniforms too. Hopefully the Golden Knights' upcoming gold third jersey for next season is going to be a hit out of the ballpark. Fingers crossed there. But I wouldn't hold my breath until the uniform's actually unveiled. So, I had a chance to vent on the XFL and TSN. I mean, a well-deserved venting or ranting, in my opinion. Stupid. So stupid how they don't have a single channel set aside for the XFL games, which they only put on about 4 games a week. 2 on Friday and 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sundays. I mean, it shouldn't be this difficult. I mean, it's just stupid. I know I was going to say one more thing. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, their ship logo, they actually tweaked it so that the one hull of the ship is actually in a proper spot now. So, there's one little upgrade. We'll see how the new uniforms go. I think they should just go straight back to the Super Bowl uniforms. People seem to agree that they're really good uniforms, and you know what? I would agree with people that they are the best uniforms the Buccaneers have ever worn. But, as I say that though, if I had my way, I would prefer if the Buccaneers went towards creamsicle. The creamsicle is a unique hue of orange. Nobody else has it. Now, you could easily argue that the pewter is unique, which it is. It is. You are right. But, I mean, unless they did a pewter jersey and uniform full-time, which I don't think they ever will. I mean, they could do a third jersey that's pewter. I think a lot of people would be happy to see an experiment like that. I mean, in my opinion, I think that you could do a pewter jersey for the Buccaneers that could actually be okay. But, I think that as a primary color, creamsicle is much nicer than red in terms of its uniqueness. I mean, I look at old highlights of the Buccaneers wearing the creamsicle uniforms and I must say, I love the color of the orange and the orange and white. I feel like those colors are very, very Florida, or very suiting for the tropical region that Tampa Bay is in. Being in, Florida, the southern Atlantic. I mean, I look at the creamsicle throwback, or I look at the creamsicle uniforms and old NFL highlights, and then I look at the red and pewter uniforms they had when they went to the Super Bowl. I mean, I look at the creamsicle uniform and go, wow, that color is really pretty. The red and pewter, it's good. I do agree with those who say that as a full-time look, it's the best that they've had, the Super Bowl era one, not the current garbage. Well, soon to be thankfully retired. But yeah, I mean, you know, I've always liked the creamsicle jersey and uniform. And I still think they could bring that design back using black instead of red and have a pirate ship on the helmet as their logo instead of Bucko Bruce or a tattered pirate flag. And I actually think it could look really quite pleasant. Now, the white uniform from that era leaves a bit to be desired. I don't like how it was heavy with red numbers and creamsicle trim. I don't know if they ever switched it to creamsicle numbers with red trim, but the creamsicle and red color scheme I could do without. But the creamsicle, the entire uniform combination was very pleasant on the eyes as far as I'm concerned. But another thing too, you know, I want to quickly touch base on this. I feel that NFL uniforms used to be designed with the purpose of being pretty and well put together. Now they're just put together to sell jerseys and do monochrome dress up. Oh, what new uniform combination can we wear this week? It's dumb. Like, seriously, dear NFL, dear Atlanta Falcons, Los Angeles Rams, dear Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and who the hell's the other team getting new uniforms? The Cleveland Browns. Look at these old highlights of the NFL in, say, the 1980s and the early to mid 1990s. Almost all of the uniforms had decent traditional looks. That's what us fans want to see. We are sick of the college football dress up. We're sick of the Nike templates. We're sick of the Nike crap. Just make NFL uniforms great again. I mean, even the Detroit Lions. This really bothered me. I saw some old clips of the last time the Detroit Lions won a playoff football game. And those old uniforms during the Barry Sanders era, I swear to God, I was almost going to call him Bernie Sanders by accident. But the Barry Sanders era of the Detroit Lions, those uniforms were gorgeous. And now they wear their current crap instead of that? I mean, what the hell? That's ridiculous. I mean, the Detroit Lions need to go back to those. What the hell are they thinking? But anyways, you guys, what I'm going to do... How am I going to do this? Okay. Is there anything else I want to talk about? No. There isn't. I'm actually going to wait and talk about... Yeah, there's nothing else I need to talk about there. I'll talk about that in my upcoming video. So anyways, you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to call it a wrap and end this video a little bit earlier than I usually do. I actually managed to drag it out to 29 minutes, which I think is plenty. But what I will do is I will call this video a wrap for this week. If you have stuck around, I hope you have enjoyed the video. And until next Sunday, till we round up again, take care. And of course, as always, you guys, bye for now. And hopefully I will have some new videos to upload for you guys this coming week. All right, guys, take care and bye for now.